Bosko's Holiday is a pretty decent cartoon, and it definitely didn't go the way I was expecting. This was released in 1931. It's directed by Hugh Harman and Rudolf Ising, with voices provided by Bernard B. Brown and Carol Tevis. And Brown voices Bosko, and Tevis voices Honey. And it starts off with Bosko and Honey on the phone, and they discuss going for a picnic. And Bosko gets his train out. It's like a car, but it's a train, and he drives to collect Honey, and then she comes into the car, and their little dog is chasing after them, and there's a problem with the tires and a few other obstacles that they have to overcome. It takes at least two-thirds of the cartoon to actually get to the picnic site, and the title of this is definitely very strange, and I'm not really getting holiday vibes or vacation vibes. It is just a picnic. And it took a long time to get to the picnic, and once we got there, that's the part that didn't develop the way I was expecting, so I'll discuss that with a spoiler warning in a moment. But very briefly, first of all, the animation is really effective. I think it's not too busy, there's never too much to look at, which I like. I don't mind animations where we have really cluttered backgrounds. I think it can work in a lot of occasions, but with this one it was a lot more simple and straightforward, and I really liked that. I think the three characters, Bosco and Honey and the dog, go really well together, and the pacing is not too bad, but as I said, it did take quite a while to get to the picnic setting, but the events leading up to that were okay. So if you're looking for a cartoon about a picnic, it might not be the best option, but we do get there eventually, and I will discuss with some spoilers. Well, first of all, the music in this pretty good as well. Now I will discuss with spoilers what happens at the end, and while I enjoyed it, it's not what I expected. So at the end, they're sitting on a log. Bosco has the picnic hamper, and he whispers something to Honey. We don't hear what it is, but her face changes. Her expression becomes one of anger. And clearly, he's whispered something that she's not comfortable with. And then Bosco reaches for a sandwich and begins to eat this sandwich with his mouth open. We see the chewed particles of the sandwich, very well animated, but not very pleasant. And I kind of get the impression that he's trying to say, this sandwich is delicious. If you give me what I want, I'll give you some of the sandwich. I'm not 100% sure if that's what they were going for. I'd love to know if that's how you interpret it, but certainly that was my reading. And then the dog licks Honey, and Honey thinks it's Bosco, so she hits him and storms off. And Bosco finishes by saying, "Oh, nuts." And it was just, I want to know exactly what he whispered to her. I can guess, but I'd love to know what the animators were, specifically thinking he'd whispered. Maybe they didn't decide. Maybe they just wanted us to make up our own mind about what it alluded to. But it's certainly not what I was expecting. And it works very well. It's not the way I expected this cartoon to go at all in terms of the pacing or indeed the tone at the end. But I still enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Not my favourite Bosco, but that being said, it's not too bad. If you're a fan of Bosko and you haven't seen it, Bosko's Holiday is worth watching. If you've never seen Bosko before, it's not the first one I'd recommend, but it wouldn't be the last. So if it sounds like it would appeal to you, then I'd say Bosko's Holiday is worth checking out.